Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday, August 12th, 2026 City Council meeting. We will call this meeting in session. And there is nothing to report from our closed session, so let's begin with our flag salute. Vice Mayor, can you lead us in the flag salute?
Please stand.
Thank you so much. And can we have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Karpinski Costa.
Present.
Councilmember Nelson.
Present.
Councilmember Schaefer.
Here.
Vice Mayor Middleton.
Here.
And Mayor Lopez Taft.
Here. Next item, please.
This meeting of the Citrus Heights City Council is live and recorded with closed captioning. It is cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV Uverse cable systems. It is also live streamed at citrusheights.net. Tonight's meeting replays on Monday, August 17th at 9 a.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. This meeting can also be viewed on the city's YouTube channel.
Perfect. And next item, please.
Next item is approval of agenda.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for any corrections.
Move approval.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, we have an agenda. Next item, please.
Next item is presentation number 4, the 2026 fireworks enforcement update.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Welcome, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Alex Turcotte, your police chief. We have a quick presentation for you just to update the council and our community on our illegal fireworks enforcement this year. Just a little bit of a recap. Last year, we implemented a number of proactive measures to try to curb our illegal fireworks behavior out in the field. We updated our municipal code, did a lot of community outreach and education over social media and the like. Utilized our drones in a very proactive and effective way last year to issue citations to those that were in violation. Last year, we received about 360 calls for service. At that time, with those measures, we identified $340,000 worth of potential fines. After an internal review and going through all of our due process and other reviews administratively, we brought those down to about $103,000 total. Of that, we've collected $25,000, and we're taking in payments still for a remainder of $78,000. This year in 2026, I'm very pleased to report that the community was much quieter, although we still did have illegal firework activity. Our calls for service for 2026 dropped to 164 calls for service, and this is both in C-Click Fix and through our normal non-emergency and dispatch center. That's a 54% decrease year over year in the amount of calls that we got for illegal fireworks. You can see the breakdown here on the bar chart. About 138 of those calls came through our non-emergency line, and 26 calls came from C-Click Fix. Of those calls, there was enough information to respond to about 27 of those cases. Of those, 2 administrative citations were issued, and a grand total of $2,000 in fines for the evening. 1 courtesy letter was sent as a warning. And we had 1 UAS team or drone team, which is an observer pilot that had worked out there in addition to our extra patrols. With that about sums up our 4th of July enforcement, but I'm happy to take any questions if you might have some.
All right. Do we have any questions? Yes, Dr. Jaina.
Do these numbers reflect calls you couldn't get to? In other words, if you have 50 calls, but you can only get to 10 of them or 20 of them, is there a way to know how many calls that weren't?
Yes, so out of the 164 phone calls we took, there was
okay, so those are the
there was only
phone
about
calls.
27 we were actually making it out to in a reasonable amount of time.
Okay.
It was also a Saturday night and a busy night as well.
They were
And then we had our
flourish.
drone pilots proactive doing their own observations as well.
There were fewer this year, for sure.
I have heard that from around the community, and it seems like the data has supported that. And I will
Can't wait
just
for
say,
4th of July when it's just totally quiet. Wouldn't that be nice?
that would be nice, but I will say for the 250th anniversary and being a Saturday, I was very happy with the measures our community took to try to celebrate responsibly. And like we've said forever, this isn't about trying to find citations or collect money. We just like to curb the behavior. And I think our community responded in a much safer fashion this year.
And we'll probably get the fire district report on the number of fires in the county that were due to fireworks.
I imagine that will
That
come
report later.
shortly from Sac Metro, yeah.
All right, any other comments?
I'd have a comment.
Sure.
This looks pretty darn successful. It never was about generating an income. You know, it never was about the money. It was certainly about getting behavior
Yeah.
corrected.
Yeah, I think it's good. We'll just have to stay on it and make sure we continue to educate and keep putting our message out there, and hopefully we'll just have a safe and sane continuing events.
Wonderful.
Councilmember Nelson.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I am very excited to see the numbers that they've gone drastically down. I'm curious, would you remind us about the difference between like the homeowner and the renter? Who gets the fine?
Yeah, so in general, if we can confirm that it was from a residence, it'll start with the homeowner, and, because they're the person that's on record of title, they're always able to nominate their tenant, and we can figure that out. And so, again, this is about education, and we try to be reasonable, and also through our due process aspect, we try to make sure that the person that was most in charge of the violation gets the bill. So we try to be reasonable with all of that, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, any additional comments or questions?
Thank you for the
All right,
report.
yeah,
All right,
thank
thank
you
you.
for that wonderful report. Great
David
job.
would be proud.
Next item, please.
Next item is presentation number 5, presentation by the Administrative Services Department on the Tyler Munis ERP implementation.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Robert Miller, IT Manager.
Could you turn on your microphone?
Sorry. Evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Robert Miller, IT Manager. I'm going to be going over the Tyler Munis implementation that we're currently in the middle of. In 23-24, the city started the migration from Tyler Eden, which was our financial system, to Tyler Munis ERP, which is our enterprise resource planning software that we're currently putting in place. This application takes all the different software that we're currently using for permitting, for licensing, for finance and human resources, and combines them into one system to make better use of resources and to aid in decision-making. This Tyler Munis implementation is a multi-year process. There are many different components that we're going through. And even after any of these modules go live, there's a continuous improvement cycle that has to happen to make sure that we're using the software to its fullest. Part of the benefits of going to Munis was a single system to manage finance, HR, permitting, and licensing, with potentials for asset management. Cross-departmental integration. This will aid us in performing things like if code enforcement puts a hold on a property, building, we'll know about that hold also. So it allows for department communication. Workflow process improvements, so we can automate some of the processes that currently could be manual, and improve citizen engagement. Instead of sending citizens to many different portals to pay their bills, to look up licenses, that they have a centralized place to go. It also aids with inspections and leaving notices in the fields, because now they can do them with the iPad and update the system in real time. This is just kind of an example of what the portal would look like for the citizen to kind of give an idea of what could be happening. We can allow them to sign in, apply for licenses. They can look at their accounts that they currently have licenses or permits with and see the status. We can also provide other links to items. They can also request inspections. This can be modified and along with changing the colors and the graphics to suit whatever the city's needs are. Internally, this is what the system would look like if they're looking at their dashboard, like they have 2 permits that need attention. And again, this is an example, but it kind of shows what the availability and what options are given to the citizens. which is much better now because it's all centralized. So far, as part of this whole implementation, we have completed finance and human resources and payroll. We're currently working on business licenses, rental housing, the citizen portal, which I just showed an example of, along with online payments, planning permits, building permits, and code enforcement. The licensing module, which you see up front, is due to go live in January of '27. The permitting module is due to go live in March. We are going to try to stagger the rollout, just so in case we do have issues, we're not impacting citizens in every aspect. Upcoming items to be implemented is the commercial property reoccupancy, this is the vacancy rule, and then the encroachment permits for GSD. Some of the continued enhancements that we'll be doing for finance, we'll be implementing the budget model implementation this year to help with the budget process for the upcoming fiscal cycle, purchase orders, contract management, and fixed assets. And under human resources, we'll be doing personal action forms to kind of modify and help reduce the manual paper processes that we have. We'll continue to improve upon open enrollment, which was online last year. And in addition to some enhancements to payroll, we'll also be rolling out a payroll mobile app for staff to be able to fill out their time in the field. And that is kind of the overview. Is there any questions about this implementation?
Questions or comments? Yes, Dr. Jana.
Is pet licensing going to be on this portal, or, because we still do it in Texas?
Pet licensing, I believe, is still under what is with Chameleon in the county. So at the moment, that's not part of this. I do not know if Tyler even has a module for that, but that would be something to look at as we kind of consolidate our stuff.
And my second question is, it might be unrelated, but after the news of Sassoon City, do we have anti-cybersecurity or cybersecurity things in place so that people can't access this and do bad things with it?
Yes. So the city does have the protections in place, from the malware to the virus software to our firewall in place to protect the internal city. There are always risks with everything like this because security is only as good as your end users. But yes, to answer the question, we do have the software and the support in place to protect the city from cyber attacks.
What did they do wrong?
Sassoon City?
Yeah.
It's hard to say without reading more about what happens. They're not very, in most of those kind of incidences, the details about how they got attacked, but for the most part, to talk about cybersecurity, most attacks happen because users get phished, they get asked for their credentials, and then once a bad actor gets that, they tend to move vertical through an organization. They get in, and then they move their way up to find holes in your software and stuff where they can elevate their privileges and stage an attack. It is always a scary situation, and I would tell you, no matter how big of a city you are, if a bad actor wants to get in, they will try to find a way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, Councilmember Schaefer.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Any other comments or questions for Rob? Thank you so much for that update.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Our next item is public comment, and whether participating in person or virtually, members of the public may address the city council during the meeting. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and the mayor has the discretion to adjust the allotted time. There is a countdown display that will beep at the end of the allotted time. For in-person public comment, fill out a speaker identification sheet and give it to the city clerk. When you're called upon to speak, step forward to the podium and state your name for the record. For Zoom public comment, please use the Zoom raise hand function or *9 from a telephone. Unmute when called upon to speak and state your name for the record. Consistent with the Brown Act, the council is prohibited from engaging in a discussion or taking action on any item not appearing on the agenda. And I have 2 speaker cards for this portion of the agenda, and I would like to call up David Warren.
Welcome, David.
Thank you. I'm here tonight because I'm very concerned about the city's road repairs. During the candidates forum, when Councilmember Nelson was running for office initially, I put the question to her, where are we going to get the funds to fix the street? And her response was she hoped to get a bunch of grants to do so. Grant money is disappearing completely. Whether we agree with the national politics or not, the budgets are so tight because of the war going on, there's going to be very little grant money coming. And because of the fire seasons, the governor's office is rerouting the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Act money that would have been used for municipal streets to the CAL FIRE because the increased demand for fire. We need a 2 or 3 year plan in order to, one, identify where we're going to start the fixes, and two, where we're going to get the money. It's my plan at this time to place an initiative on the 2028 ballot for an ad valorem property tax for the city for two purposes. One, to set a bond fund, an initial bond, to pay for the reconstruction of the streets that are now in disrepair. I'm not complaining about staff. They have this much to fix and this much money, and it's just a reality. What we need to do is get ahead of it before there's further deterioration because it ends up costing too much money. Second, for a sinking fund, so that as the repairs are made, a reserve is established. So when those streets need further repair, we will have the money and we don't have to go out and borrow. The city will be on better fiscal footing if, in fact, we have a guaranteed fund. It's time for us to start planning and taking care of ourselves because outside money is not going to be there. Grants are merely other people's tax money that's being routed to the city, and we as the taxpayers of this community should be taking care of ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker.
Our next speaker is Lois, and if you could say your last name for
Dunham.
Dunham.
Hi, my name is Lois Dunham. I'm 85 years old. I'm old school to the max. This new way of life is just not my way of life. This is my first time ever in a political environment. I've never voted. I never wanted to vote. I always knew because I came from a background in Boston that taught me anyone can be bought. I am here for COVID. I want to know why COVID could shut down a world. And it's just not fair to anybody. We know, if we know what we know, it's politics. It's money. It's bribery. And there's a lot of hate going on, a lot of anger. Citrus Heights, small town. Love you, love you, love you, love you. I wouldn't get them, yeah. So that's all I got to say. Think of why we're at where we're at, and we're not moving ahead. So God is the answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any online public comment?
I do not at this time.
All right. Let's go ahead with our next item.
Our next item is comments by council members and regional board updates.
Okay, let's go ahead and start with Councilmember Nelson.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I attended National Night Out, and I had the privilege of going around with Lieutenant Gehring. And it was my second National Night Out. Very cool to be out in the community and just to see the overwhelming support that is out there for our law enforcement, for our particular police department. So it was a great time. I had a lot of fun. And then I feel like I should mention that this is my last meeting for a little while because I have a baby coming very soon.
Thank you, and you will absolutely be missed, but we look forward to your joyful arrival. Vice Mayor.
Okay, wasn't ready, out of order, but that's fine.
Just going down the line.
Well, as with the rest of my colleagues, National Night Out was a lot of fun. I probably ate way too many sweets, and I did not get to bed till after midnight because, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment. Also, just, you know, future looking, tomorrow, school starts. Please do not hit the children. Please follow the traffic safety rules, right? 25 miles per hour in school zones. Our officers will be out patrolling, making sure our students are safe. Take a little bit extra time. Get up earlier, leave early if you have to, but the kids are going to be out there walking about, and you know they're usually on their phones or their scooters, and they're not paying attention, so we have to pay attention for them. That's it.
Well, thank you. Dr. Jana?
I have a long list. We haven't had a council meeting since July 8th. So there's a lot of stuff that we've been doing, but I'll just hit the highlights. The main highlight I would like to hit is West Nile virus. We're having a Citrus Heights boon around Rush Park especially, and around Van Maren Park, of positive West Nile mosquitoes. So I'm here to put the fear of the Lord in you about wearing DEET, long sleeves, prevent yourself from being bit by mosquitoes. There's a couple of human cases that have not been confirmed in the Sacramento area, and I can update you when those are confirmed, but the disease is out there, and the birds are dying off, and so the disease is out there. So I really want to encourage people, if you think you have a problem with mosquitoes at your property, call the district. They'll come out, they'll look for sources, they can treat if you need to. I think Sherry Merrick had some, I saw her at the post office, so if you have a problem, call the district. Do not take the risk of getting West Nile. So that said, I did go to National Night Out. I had 5 in my district, plus I had Sergeant Jones, who took me to 2 more that he wanted to go to. So we kind of hustled around for the evening, and it was, I say, a lot of fun. But I think the report was 1,300 people attended. Was that what we got in the email? So around that, 1,300 residents attended National Night Out. I think it's wonderful. I have to share one other thing I did, is I took a tour of, the Neighborhood 10 is putting in a Braille trail at the Arcade Creek Park Preserve. Well, we had the Braille trail, but it got vandalized, and we have to replace some of the things in the trail, and we want to add Braille to some of the signage, because it is a Braille trail. So who makes Braille? There's a little team at the basement in Folsom Prison that does Braille signs. And so I got a tour of this particular facility, and I just have to tell you how warm-hearted I am to meet the little guys who have been certified to do the Library of Congress Braille. They're so good. So I just want to, we'll probably have a reopening in October. We have a real nice Eagle Scout project in there with a raised planter that has plants that smell and plants that touch. And we have some exhibits where you can feel all the footprints of all the critters who live there and touch all the bark of the trees that are in there, and maybe a couple rocks. So I'll let everybody know when that's going to happen, but right now we're still in the sign-making phase. Did go to the chamber lunch this week. Our city manager was the speaker, did an excellent job. Nobody asked many questions, so you were in good shape there. Everybody was, I did go to the Field Haven fundraiser, and so our kitties for the low-cost spay-neuter program, I did donate to that, and I'm happy to do. Oh, and we went to Flourishing Gala. Blair can talk about that because I was there. And I did go to Art in the City Hall. We had a nice little exhibit of art in City Hall. You know, our art council is, some of the bodies still out there in the, yes, we have some of the people. You walk in and you feel like this, but I feel like there are people standing there. All right, so anyways, that's there, and I want to remind people, we do have a low vision support group in the city that meets at the library on the second Tuesday of the month. And then I'm on the SETA board, and so Stacy Hildebrand is my alternate. Most of the time I can't go to the SETA, which is the Sacramento Employment and Training Agency, which is a piece of the community action boards that were established to fight the war on poverty. So I sit on that board, and when I go, like I did today and the last month, I learn things every day. Affordable housing is not affordable, is number one I learned. So these developers, and I have a sheet of paper, get loans for affordable housing, get tax credits, and yet a small fraction of what they build is affordable in those 600 and some units. 5 stories high, most of them are not affordable. And so we have some people on our board who are low income and put their input in, and I'm just shocked at what I'm learning. I'm shocked. So I think when we talk about affordable housing, it's not what it sounds like. And then today we had a presentation by the Sacramento County mental health people who contract with Hope Cooperative for mental health, so that's probably what that Sunrise development will be, is some of that. And so it's very, very informative. I mean, right now I'm just kind of information gathering. So they do wonderful work at SETA, and I hope to get them more involved. They had a little map of where their core agencies have offices, and there's a big vacancy up by us. I says, what do you do to have something up in the north part of the county with Foothill Farms and Antelope and Citrus Heights? Oh, well, they come, it's like, so we're working on it. Work in progress. That's my report.
All right, Councilmember Schaefer.
Well, thank you, Mayor. So, and I'm grateful that I had a conflict that developed when I had a SAC RT board meeting on the 27th, and the mayor was kind enough to sit in for me on that. I really appreciate that. It was kind of an unexpected situation there. So, on the 11th, I went to the Veterans Center on Sylvan, the Veterans Community Center. They have done an amazing job at reorganizing that. It looks great. There's plenty of parking. It was really a good event. A couple of really good hot dogs, and it was just entertaining and great to see the folks that are running that now that Jeannie has passed. So let's see. I also went to I went to National Night Out. That was a very, very busy evening. I wish there were more time. I think I had 5 or 6 in my group, in my area, and I just couldn't get to all of them. So I had rented the same thing last year, and so.
But it's good that people are doing these.
Yeah, it is great. So Crosswoods had a really big turnout there, and so it was really good to meet with those folks. And I went there first this time, and we had a brand-new one. It was right off of Stock Ranch Road over here. It's a senior apartment complex. It was a brand-new one, so I went to the brand-new one, and then I went to Crosswoods, and it was a really good turnout. So then on the 8th, I went to the grand opening of the food truck plaza. A little excitement there, won't get into that, but it was really a great turnout, very, very busy there. At the time, for the purpose of the grand opening, the parking was a little tough. There was really, all the parking was full there, and I wound up parking on the street. But it was, I bought some of the Greek gyros. That was awesome. And then they had a grilled cheese food truck in there, and I got their ultimate in grilled cheese, which is Havarti and cheddar. Oh, it was, and another cheese. It was the best grilled cheese sandwich I've ever had. It was really, really good. So I encourage you to go over there and try that out. Just a really.
Did you see those bacon-wrapped chicken wings?
I did see. I see all the stuff that's really bad for you. So anyhow, but that wraps it up for me, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, we have all kinds of activities going on. I am no exception. Did attend the art in City Hall. I love the art refresh, look on the walls, the halls, and the ceilings, and you'll experience different pieces of art, which are wonderful and fun. I too attended the Veterans Community Center 250th anniversary celebration. That was really, really fun. And more importantly for me, they are engaging young people who are interested in supporting our veterans. And that to me is the most heartwarming. I talked to a few young ladies who are helping serve the hot dogs and such, and they were so enthusiastic. Gives you hope for the future. I sit on the Sacramento Valley Division, Sacramento Division for Cal Cities as a board member, and we had our board meeting on Monday. I attended, there's so much that I can't keep it straight sometimes. I attended my regular Sac Metro Air District meeting and the board, library board meeting. We will be having another maternity leave situation for my library board, so I'm vice chair, and I will be temporary chair while she is enjoying time with her baby. And 'tis the season, apparently. And we celebrate that. We celebrate the little ones. As Councilmember Schaefer mentioned, I did sit in his place for the SAC-RT meeting. Always appreciate reconnecting with our local transportation. I actually enjoy that meeting, and it's a very interesting meeting for sure. Let's see here. National Night Out. I was escorted by our chief, and we hit upon three or four? And to me, it is so much fun. Chasen had us going head-to-head in a game of Clask, and they had one of our local businesses, Galaxy Gaming, host a tournament. So we had a good time doing a couple rounds of that. Chief is very competitive, if you don't already know. I didn't fear for my life, but I definitely know not to challenge him to another board game. So that was enjoyable, and I love that our particular neighborhood association engaged our local businesses. I attended Supervisor Rosario Rodriguez's community meeting, and she gave a great update on efforts of homelessness and, just their budget update. So many of our community leaders that serve our area, not just your city council, come to really share their efforts that affect our residents, and it's always important to attend those so that you can hear directly from the individuals who are hoping to make a difference in the betterment and quality of your lives. So that was really good. I attended a brand new meeting, and it is the County City Homelessness Ad Hoc Task Force. We are reimagining what it looks like to serve the cities, the county, and the surrounding cities, and so more to come on that. We are at the task force stage, and we're hoping to simply make the services better. And attended our Cal City SAC Division gathering in Grass Valley, where we learned about wildfire hardening. Now, you would think that this information is only relevant to those with very wooded areas. Now, we love to say in Citrus Heights, we love our tree canopy. And so if you can imagine, that too makes us a wooded area. A few takeaways that I thought were very, very important and relevant to our community is look at your fence lines. Make sure you are absolutely keeping track of your bushes and keeping your homes clear of any dead leaves, your gutters, all the things we usually hear, but they put this in the context of wildfire mitigation, and I thought it was very, very relevant. And a reminder from our Sac Metro friends is to please pull your garbage cans away from your home. Do not have it leaned up against your home, because at any time, the material in the garbage cans or your recycling could combust, especially if you accidentally put a battery in your garbage can. Please pull them to a location that is not right up against your home, because the second those sparks fly into your eaves, it's very, very difficult to prevent a fire at that point. So that was a very informative educational meeting, and I too attended the Food Truck Plaza meeting and attended the Chamber Luncheon. So We've been very busy even though we had a recess. Okay, next item, please.
Next item we have is the consent calendar. We have item 6, approval of minutes. Item 7, quarterly treasurer's report. Item 8, delegating disbursement authority for the California Employees Retirement Benefit Trust Fund to reflect current staff position titles. Item number 9, permission for Councilmember Nelson to be absent from city council meetings during parental leave of absence.
All right, do we have first any public comments on any of the items on the consent calendar?
I do not.
Okay, do we have any comments or items to be requested to be pulled from the consent calendar?
You don't want me to vote no on 9, do you?
I'd like to pull number 9 for discussion, please.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and pull number 9, with the exception of 9. Do I have a motion for 6, 7, and 8?
Move approval.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, let's discuss number 9.
Mayor, I'd like to recuse myself from this one, considering it's about.
I don't know that you need to be recused. Ryan, do we need to recuse now, Councilmember Nelson?
I'd like to hear what he has to say first.
Yeah.
If it was a controversial item, I think yes, but I believe it's going to be a quick statement as well.
Yeah, it's going to be quick, and what I would suggest is, can we do a hybrid? Because 5 meetings is tough, because, number one, you don't have an alternate for your position. And number 2 is that we could wind up not moving an item forward because we have a 2-2 vote. It would be great, certainly I would suggest maybe the first 3 or 4 meetings, you're completely free to get acquainted with your new child, which I'm very excited about.
The
This is
baby
not
has to
about
sleep
that.
sometime.
Huh?
Baby has to sleep sometime.
Baby has to sleep sometime. But then if we could do, if this is permissible, if we could do like a hybrid, like a Zoom. She could participate in Zoom, wouldn't have to come in. Could you see your way to that?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Throughout the discussion of this item coming up, I've been asking, can I still attend if I want to, if I can, if I have the ability and the energy and the mental clarity to attend, because I'm super optimistic that I'll be able to do that. But what I'm hearing from other new moms is take all of the time that you possibly can, because you're just going to be so tired. So I'm trying to accommodate my optimism and the potential for me to participate. So Zoom is an option, but also kind of reconcile maybe the reality that maybe some things will come up and I will have to still.
Can
miss
she show
meetings.
up if she feels like it, or does she have to stay home?
I would hope so. She is still a full council
There's a
member.
lock on the door.
Yeah, she can absolutely attend, any of the meetings. Just the government code section does not provide for a certain number of absences after so many days consecutively if they miss a meeting. And so the code does allow permission, but they don't explain how to receive that permission. So this is providing Councilmember Nelson with permission over the next 3 months, if she does miss a meeting, that she's absent with permission.
And certainly the concern would be, as staff we needed to address something quickly, and it might be a controversial item. I can see that may not be, but nonetheless, it just feels like, oh man, if we get into a.
We want an emergency
And
plan.
and we could have a closed session that we'd want her to know what's going on, not so
Right.
much voting, because we don't always have actions, but just information, and that she should be notified that if she's available to Zoom in on those.
Yeah, Councilmember Nelson, when she was talking about this item, because you did express like, gosh, I'd sure like to participate if I'm able to. And we're going to certainly work to have those accommodating tools around like Zoom, for instance, things of that nature. And then I also committed that if we do have an item, then you're expressing a good concern. Like, what if there is a big item that we need to have the full council for? I committed to Councilmember Nelson, I'd give her a heads up on those items to ensure that she'd be able to participate.
You can
And-
always bring the screaming baby, and we'll just kind of set it on the dais.
And just to chime in here, to offer you as much flexibility as possible, while also making sure I know how important that your district has a voice. So ensuring that you know where you can and you want to or able to, that you have that opportunity to really make sure that your district has that representation. But please, by all means, do not feel pressure. Take as much time as you need. And, once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, ditto. However, I can fill in to, other appearances that are desired in your district for a council member, I'm happy to fill in. So
Thank you.
that's my commitment to you and your district as well. So, all right, without any further discussion, do we have a motion?
Move approval.
I second.
All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. 9 passes, and let's go to our
We have an
next.
extension.
Yes, we do have an abstention, so
Thank you.
9 passes with 4. All right, next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 10. The subject is agreement for cost sharing with the County of Sacramento for the AC Overlay Project 2025 Phase A, Madison Avenue Overlay Project. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for cost sharing with the County of Sacramento for the AC Overlay Project 2025 Phase A.
Welcome, Leslie.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, council members. Leslie Bloomquist, City Engineer, here tonight to present the item on the cost share agreement with the Sacramento County for the AC Overlay Project 2025 Phase A, or in GSD, we have been referring to it as the Madison Avenue resurfacing. Many roadways around the border of Citrus Heights are shared between the city and the county, and Madison Avenue is one of those roads. Under our long-standing shared use maintenance agreement, the county is responsible for upkeep and maintenance of the road on a day-to-day basis. They're also responsible to lead major capital projects that occur on those specific roadways. That includes resurfacing projects. So after reviewing and monitoring the pavement conditions together, city and county on Madison Avenue, both agencies a couple years ago decided that resurfacing the roadway was the best way to move forward due to the needs of that specific roadway. And this is Madison Avenue between San Juan Avenue and Fair Oaks Boulevard. So resurfacing recently happened. The county managed the entire project, including design, environmental, the bidding, construction, and inspection, while still working closely with city staff on the accessibility upgrades on the city side of the road, as well as enhanced striping on the entirety of the roadway. The improvements included targeted base repairs, reconstruction of the ramps, a full 3-inch rubberized asphalt grind and overlay across all lanes of traffic, and then the final restriping. But before we get to the action for tonight, I just wanted to show some before and after photos of the roadway. So here on the left, you can see Madison Avenue before resurfacing and the beautiful roadway that it is today. And a few more sample photos of the roadway of the before and after conditions. So you can see what I hope these photos show is a significant improvement in ride quality. The safety has also been improved, and the overall corridor appearance. And one more slide of some sample before and after photos. In addition, and unrelated to the action before you tonight, the city also recently completed resurfacing component of the 2025 resurfacing project. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes to go over the costs for an overlay compared to the cost of some of the resurfacing treatments that we've done around the city as part of our pavement preservation program. So while work to restripe and raise the manholes and other utility lids is still ongoing, the full resurfacing component of the 2025 resurfacing project, the city project, is complete. As part of that project, we resurfaced 126 residential roadways and 2 arterials. So Madison Avenue received a 3-inch overlay. The 2 arterials in the 2025 resurfacing project received what we refer to as a 3-layer treatment. It's 3 separate layers of resurfacing that are laid right on top of each other to provide an enhanced treatment for that arterial roadway. And those 2 arterials that were done is Antelope Road and Oak Avenue. The remaining 126 residential streets also received varying treatments, ranging from single-layer slurry seals to two-layer systems, such as asphalt rubber cape seals, and some of the residential streets even received that same three-layer treatment that was applied to the arterial roadways. These preservation treatments that were done on the city project are much more cost-effective and allow the city to resurface many more roads when compared to traditional grind and overlay projects. We've never done 128 streets in 1 year before. So for comparison on cost, the three-layer treatment used on Antelope and Oak costs about $13 a square yard versus a traditional overlay costs about $30 a square yard. So that's resurfacing costs about 20% when compared to the repaving on arterial roadways. Similarly, residential treatments cost about a quarter. The arterials is about a third of the overlay versus the resurfacing, and residentials is about a quarter of the price to do a residential street when compared to a traditional grind and overlay. So I just want to show what that looks like on the roadways themselves. So I have some before and after photos from some of the resurfacing streets. Crosswood Circle is on the street, or on the slide in front of you now. That received a single layer treatment, a type 2 slurry seal. So we have the before and then the after on the left. You can see the enhanced striping that we also implemented with the resurfacing project. Mar Vista Way received a 2-layer treatment that we refer to as a type 5 fiberized microsurface. So it's 2 separate microsurfacing layers. Burnham Drive received an asphalt rubber cape seal. That's also a 2-layer treatment, but it has a layer of chip in there that provides a thicker structural section on that resurfacing. Tupelo received a 3-layer treatment. That's the same treatment that was applied to Antelope and Oak, so a much stronger and beefier resurfacing treatment. This is a higher traveled roadway or collector street. Stock Ranch Road, right around the corner from City Hall here, received a single layer type 2 slurry seal. White Avenue at the very northern limits of the city received a 3-layer treatment. And here you can see an actual photo that we did mid-process. So it was after the dig outs or the point repair had been completed in a specific location, but before the picture on the right where the 3-layer treatment was then placed on top of that dig out. Primrose Drive is a school collector, and so we timed this one to occur while school was out of session, and they'll actually be striping this tomorrow, I believe, working with the schools very closely, but you can see the significant difference from the before and after photos on Primrose Drive. Oak Avenue, one of the 2 arterials, received a 3-layer treatment. And Antelope Road, also a 3-layer treatment. I have a few photos here of samples from either side of the freeway. So transitioning back to the Madison Avenue cost share, the city's share of the project is approximately $1.96 million for the actual construction costs. In addition, there are soft costs associated with this for the design, inspection, and contingency of the project. So the total not to exceed recommended authorization amount for the shared use agreement is $2.7 million for Madison Avenue from San Juan to Fair Oaks. And it is recommended to approve that cost share agreement, and I have the motion on the screen for you.
All right, do we have any comments or questions? All right, Dr. Jana.
What's the source of funding for this?
Excuse me. We have programmed in the city's budget and the 2-year capital program already, general capital funds.
Okay. And second question, is there one treatment or another that withstands like heavy truck use? Like, let's say the Walmart truck is coming to Walmart. Is there one treatment better that holds up? I would think the rubberized treatment is quieter to the residents, but I would think that's more bustable, but break-upable. What's the word I want?
Is this on Madison Avenue?
Yeah.
So the rubberized is intended to keep noise down so that it absorb some of that noise. The actual thickness of the asphalt is what provides that structural section, the aggregate base that's underneath the road and the asphalt concrete. We're not actually changing that with the grind and overlay project, so that structural section stays the same. We're just getting a nice smoother top to it. The rubberized acts similarly to standard asphalt. It just has that quieting component and reuses old tires, so it has the environmental component as well.
So is one stronger for heavy use? Is the one,
They're both act the same as far as the full structural section goes. One is a little bit more flexible, so we might see less potholes as time comes, but they act very similarly when given that full structural section.
fewer potholes is a good idea. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yes. Councilmember Schaefer.
So Leslie, how long, so can you bring that slide up where it talked about the different types of treatments we're using? So our standard or tailor, is there, how long, what's the lifespan of the roadway for this? What's based on the type of work that gets done?
So it's 3-layer surface treatment. We are expecting to see about 13 to 15-year life expectancy on that. A full-year overlay, we would typically see 20 to 30 years, depending on the type of road that it is. So it is more of a preservation of existing versus a full remove and replace. So there is that lifespan difference.
But, yeah, okay.
What about the slurry seals?
The slurry seals, same. We would expect probably a little bit less than the 3-layer, but in that 10 to 15-year range. Those are typically applied to streets that have much lower traffic, lower speed, more residential streets. So that comes into play why, even though it's like kind of a lesser treatment in a way, it has less cars on it going slower, so it lasts
So
that
if you
same period.
amortize the $2.7 million over, say, 15 years, that's a pretty good deal, realistically. It's about $200,000 a year.
So are we, can I ask another question? Sure. So are we doing one side of the median and the county's doing the other side of the median, or is it, are we sharing one side half and half?
The construction of the project was done all together as one, with one contractor. They did our side of the road and the county side of the road at the same time.
So 2 lanes, or three and three?
Correct.
Okay.
Any additional questions? Okay, I had a question, just curiosity. Compared to our strategy for road repair prior to this particular strategy, because it's really well done, what was the treatment strategy then, and how did we get from 2 linear miles to 52, resulting in over 125 streets?
Absolutely. So previously, 2 components were leading to us being able to do those 2 center lane miles. The first was we had a smaller budget. The city has allocated additional funds. The second was, and the primary was, that we were doing full grind and overlays. So we were taking off 2 inches, grinding it, and placing a full 2 inches of asphalt back on residential and thicker on the arterials. So we could really only do a very small number of streets, giving those 2 components. Now, with the increased budget, but also having items cost a quarter of what they were to the original, we're able to expand it to the 128 streets and the additional lane miles.
So prior to this strategy, we were spending the most on every project?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Councilmember Schaefer.
So Leslie, so here's the big rub here. So I'm just talking in general. I know we have plans for streets to be paved. Why does it take so long? Why does it take so long? I know that Park Oaks, Oak Creek Way, I know those been marked. Those are on the list. Can we just hire Bob's paving company to come in and pave our streets, or do we have to?
Unfortunately not. There is a multi-step process that we have to take before we can even start the resurfacing. Depending on the treatment that we select, it triggers other components that must happen, including accessibility upgrades. In addition, before we resurface a road, we want to make sure that we review and analyze all of our underground facilities to make sure that they're also in good condition. The last thing the city wants to do is come and resurface a road just to have them come and dig up a storm drain that was already broken that we didn't know about. So we're looking at the storm drain system. We're upgrading for the required accessibility. We're also looking at each individual street and identifying the exact limits of the point repairs, whether or not it needs crack sealing, all of these components that needs to happen before we can actually get in and resurface. And because that is such a large component of it, we are separating that out into a separate bid so that we can stretch the dollar even further. We're not paying a subcontractor markup on the concrete work. So we put that together first. So that's all kind of done the year and a half before the resurfacing happens. Then separately, we come with another contract and bid just to do the resurfacing that following year. So we're 2 years in advance before we can even do the accessibility. We're starting to design those, and that's why you've seen the white marks out in the field where we've located where those point repairs and pavement repairs are necessary, but we're in the design phase, and then we got to bid it and build it. Then we can do the resurfacing the following year. And we can't just hire any contractor that we choose. Unfortunately, the government code requires us to do a public bid. And so we put it all out. We open publicly the bids. Anyone is welcome to come and attend those. And we're required to give it to the lowest bidder.
Thank you.
Thank you for that background. All right, what is the pleasure of the council?
Mayor, I do have somebody on Zoom that raised
Oh,
their
yes,
hand,
sorry about that.
So I just want
Let's
to
take
check
public
if
comment.
they wish to speak on this item.
All right.
Call in user 1. You've raised your hand to speak on this item. You can unmute yourself to speak for 3 minutes and state your name for the record.
No?
Yeah, I'm not, maybe they raised the hand by mistake.
All right, if they chime in at a later moment, we will backtrack a little bit. I know we're all getting used to our online interface, so we'll.
I have another question while maybe our caller can finish getting her cup of coffee or whatever. So when we're surfacing roads, I noticed that they don't really straighten out the road. You still get the bumps and the lumps, and so it looks better. It's shinier, it's got the white line, but you still get the uneven ride down, is it? So is that important when we do a road? Don't we want them flat?
Yeah, because it is just a thin layer, you're right, the profile of the road stays the same. We're not so concerned about that on the lower volume, lower traveled streets, but we are more concerned about that on the arterials. And on Antelope Road, we actually did a micro grind on that entire roadway. So we smoothed it out as best as we could with that kind of 1/4-inch grind. And it just took kind of like the tops off the high parts of the trenches, and then the actual resurfacing treatment filled in the low parts. We had some areas where the pavement had been kind of shoved towards the lip of gutter in the crosswalk, leaving like a little hump right there when you enter the road. All of that was removed for pedestrian safety as well. So we did do that on Antelope Road, and we also ran before and after numbers there, and we showed about a 70 to 80% reduction in the undulation, so an 80% smoother ride there. So it was very successful.
Well, that's good to know, because a lot of people I've seen those comments on social media that it's still bumpy, but yeah. I wish you'd done that on Dewey, because when they're putting the IV catheter in you on the way to the hospital and you go in a dip, that's just not great.
One of the remaining items is to adjust the irons to the final grade. So I do believe that's part of the reason why some people might be experiencing some bumps on Antelope currently, is because those manholes are still a little low. And we're working on that currently to raise those the 1/2 inch to the new pavement level.
Thank you. Very, very good. Thank you for that answer.
All right.
Mayor, they did raise their hand one more time, so I'm going to try one more time.
Okay,
to
let's
see
do it.
If this will work.
Let's
So
try.
the individual on Zoom with call-in user 1 ID, you can speak for 3 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Samantha's road paving. I don't think we should let trannies or niggers or spits or kites or faggots.
We have removed their permission to speak at this time.
Okay, we have, we'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion. I move that we adopt Resolution 2026, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, California, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for cost sharing with the County of Sacramento for the AC Overlay Project 2025 Phase A.
I'll second.
Is that the wrong one?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 11. The subject is a resolution authorizing the participation and implementation of the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act in conformance with Public Contract Code 22010, and this is a first reading of an ordinance. So there's two items for council consideration: a resolution authorizing the participation and implementation, and to introduce an ordinance adding Division 6 to Article 5 of the Chapter 2 of the Citrus Heights Municipal Code.
Boy, that's a mouthful. Welcome, Regina.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members. Regina Cave, your General Services Director. So speaking of Public Works and contracts, the item before you this evening is requesting to participate and implement into the, what we call CUPCA. It is a voluntary statutory program which is available to public works, public agencies, so cities, counties, schools, for alternative bidding procedures for public works contracts and procurement. As City Engineer Leslie Blomquist mentioned, our process is required for public works contracts is exceptionally lengthy, especially for smaller projects that still require public contracting follow-through. And so CUPCA allows for alternative procedures that, or processes that can be followed to still achieve the objective of getting a project out to bid, but being able to condense it and be more effective and spend less money ultimately. So the process still maintains transparency and competitive pricing through less formal bidding processes, which are based on the total contract value. We still have to procure contractors through a certain process, but we're actually able to batch things up. So if we can put out, for instance, a request for qualifications at the beginning of a year for certain trades, we're able to establish a list of eligible contractors. And then during the year, as these projects come up and they meet those requirements, we can direct solicit to those eligible contractors instead of having to produce extensive bid packages and pay for advertising, because Public Works contract still has not caught up with the times. We still have to advertise through paper or through local newspapers. We can reduce some of those barriers. And participation in the program does require approval by the agency's governing board, hence why it's coming to you this evening. The CUPCA contract value thresholds are as follows. So public contracts up to $75,000, and public works is considered $5,000 and over. So anything that's $5,000 and over requires formal bidding. This can be performed by city employees through a force account, through negotiated contracts or purchase order. Public projects up to $220,000 may be awarded using informal bidding procedures, as I mentioned, which include solicitation of written bids from a list of qualified contractors. And then for public projects exceeding $220,000, it must be awarded using our formal competitive bidding procedures that we follow currently through all our projects. And all these circumstances for anything $100,000 or over would still require to come before council for approval, as consistent with the city's purchasing policy and the city manager's assigning authority. So example of projects or services would apply to all of our public works projects and procurements, including construction, demolition, maintenance, and repair that are subject to public contract code. So for example, facilities, we maintain quite a few facilities here on our tutelage. Replacement of doors, windows, floors, painting, or roofing, those are all subject to public works. Masonry, so sound walls, we do unfortunately have a lot of sound walls here in the city that sometimes are the recipients of vehicle accidents. And so if we are repairing those masonry walls, this provides us some flexibility in how we are able to get those walls repaired. Stormwater projects, so some creek bank restoration projects or culvert replacements. And then transportation projects. A lot of our projects still would have to follow the standard process because they are exceeding 220,000, but some of our smaller projects were able to follow CUPCA if allowed. Benefits of participating in CUPCA, as I mentioned, the cost benefit reduces the cost associated with the formal process. So advertising, it can range anywhere from $400 to a couple $1,000, depending on which paper that we're putting it in and depending on the timeline. And reducing the lengthy bid documents. Instead of having formal bid documents, we could do one-page, two-page types of documents and just direct solicit to the list of eligible contractors. Increase our efficiency, spending less time in the bidding process. We can condense some of our work down to just 10 days instead of maybe 3 or 4 weeks to be able to solicit those bids. And then consistent with practices exercised throughout the state and particularly throughout the region. So cities of Elk Grove, Galt, Rancho, Rockland, the town of Loomis, the county of Sacramento have all adopted CUPCA. So before you are the recommendations, and I will entertain any questions.
All right. Are there any questions, comments from council? Jen? No?
No? Good.
Okay. Are there any comments online?
No, not for this item.
All right. We'll entertain, shall we
make the
take these
motion?
motions individually? Okay. All right, we'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights authorizing the participation and implementation of the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act in conformance with Public Contract Code 22010.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? All right, motion passes. We have a second motion.
I'd like to introduce by title only and waive first reading of ordinance number 2026, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, California, adding Division 6, Uniform Construction Cost Accounting Act to Article 5, Finances of the Chapter 2, Administration of the City of Citrus Heights Municipal Code.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? All right.
Good
Motion
deal,
passes.
Regina. Good
Thank
deal.
you. Thank you for helping us save money.
Thank you.
Yeah. We like saving money.
All right, thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is item number 12, designation of voting delegate and alternates for the League of California Cities Annual Conference and direction on the proposed 2026 Cal Cities resolution. So the recommendation is to designate a voting delegate and up to 2 alternates to participate at the business meeting during the League's conference. And I'll introduce Danielle Jones with the City Clerk's Department, who will give a brief presentation on this.
All right, thank you, Danielle.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Tonight I'm here to present our annual item on selecting a voting delegate for the Cal Cities Conference. You can also select up to 2 alternates. The conference this year is in Anaheim, and the business meeting is scheduled for September 25th. The appointed delegate and alternates must be registered to attend the conference. They represent the city and vote on resolutions. As a reminder, last year the council selected Councilmember Nelson as the voting delegate and Mayor Lopez Taff as the alternate. We just received the pre-conference resolution packet, which I have distributed to the council and posted for the public as attachment number 2 to the staff report. There is one general resolution for your consideration, which I will discuss briefly, and of course, there is still the possibility that petition resolutions may be introduced at the conference. And this resolution is very timely, considering the comments from Councilmember Karpinski-Costa just this evening. But this is a resolution on ensuring local authority over housing and land use decisions. It is recognizing that local zoning is a primary function of cities and that a city's general plan should be its guide in land use planning, free from preemption by the state. As increasingly prescriptive statewide housing mandates and development approval requirements can override local adopted plans and zoning standards without accounting for jurisdictional differences, the League of California cities will, first of all, support the development and advancement of a state constitutional amendment or another strategy that restores and strengthens local authority over housing and land use matters within municipal boundaries. Any constitutional amendment or alternative strategy should preserve the state's authority to establish broad statewide housing goals and enforce constitutional and civil rights as well as fair housing requirements while protecting cities from state actions that compel the approval of housing developments that are inconsistent with locally adopted requirements, and also to consider the establishment of a statewide working group or other appropriate committees to evaluate and develop a proposed constitutional amendment or alternative strategy. The recommendations are here for you. First is to make a motion to designate a voting delegate and up to 2 alternates, and then to consider the Cal Cities resolution and determine a city position so that the voting delegate can represent the city's position. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so who has taking the first action here?
I'd like to nominate the vice mayor to be our voting delegate and our mayor is the alternate.
We have a motion. Before we do that, I was going to have a little discussion. Who's has some passion and interest around this item? Because I think that's important too.
I think the vice mayor does.
Well, I think the vice mayor should speak for herself.
Well, it's no secret that I love, local control, so yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I am happy to be the alternate, so we have a motion. Do we have a second to the motion?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that was easy. And the second item for consideration, now let's get
Mayor?
to the meat of the resolution.
Sorry,
Yes.
I do have a public comment speaker on this item.
Oh, we do? Okay, let's
So I'd
have
like
it.
to call up David Warren.
Okay, thank you.
I hate to always be the gadfly, but I strongly suggest that you consider the possible contraindications of supporting such a resolution. It sounds fine when you have a bunch of small communities saying, we don't want to follow a general pattern throughout the state. But if a constitutional amendment is made, it'll be based upon populations. So Los Angeles County, who has a significant housing problem for low-income housing, passes a resolution for the state to adopt. That will mean that small cities like Citrus Heights are going to have to follow based upon the general population vote. So you're going to have an unexpected consequence to supporting this resolution. It always sounds good, but when Beverly Hills doesn't want to have any low-income housing, nor does San Jose or certain areas of San Francisco, then we are going to be the people that are going to end up with the low-cost housing. And it's going to be more concentrated because this is where the land costs are going to be lower, and we're going to be forced to accept it. So before this is adopted, there should be some real significant thought. Now, if you look at the cities that are supporting this, these are the very cities that are always contrarian on everything on a statewide basis. So before the city steps into this, I think we should take a long, serious look. And my suggested vote is that the city recommend that it be postponed for an additional year for further study, because the unintended consequences of this resolution are going to be significant. I was up at the Capitol today working on some of the bills that went into suspense, and this is a subject of discussion. And believe me, those cities that want it so they can push it into other low-income housing to other cities are the ones that really want to have it, because we're going to get stuck with it. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Any other comments, either in person or now online?
No, not for this.
Okay, we have an additional comment from the dais.
So I just want to make it clear, we're really only determining the delegate doesn't, we're not telling the delegate to support or not on this.
Well, that is a second consideration.
That's what's up there.
Consider, okay, so,
You've done this before, Portia. You've done this before. When you get there, do they debate the pros and cons and they?
Sometimes it really depends on the issue. With the amount of support there is going on, it probably won't be much of a debate. And if we, no matter what we do, whether we vote or we say, hey, we want to abstain or we want to push it off, I doubt that our vote will actually move that into the direction to postpone. We don't have the coalition necessary to do that.
Do you have a feeling for how other cities are feeling as your relationship with the league is now? You and Mary Jane?
I don't, because of, like, you know, a lot of their delegates are coming from Southern California, the Bay Area. I mean, if I had to hazard a guess, you know, obviously they're going to want to move it forward.
Yeah, that's my sense as well, you know. Cal
I'm not sure
Cities
it's
has
got to do
said-
with affordable housing. I think it's got to do more with, you could put housing where you have commercial zones. You know, they allow 16 ADUs on one property. I think some of that local control is what
Right,
the cities
because
are
we've
wanting.
had so many things in this past 2 years have been ministerially we have to approve, like, you know, the subdivision of lots. We have no
Correct.
choice how many ADUs somebody can have up, and then we've had the impact of, like, you know, waste cans and things and parking. They've restricted the amount of parking we're supposed to require. So these are some things that we're taking out of our control.
That's right.
Over the last 2 years.
So we're in favor of local control.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
but even if we decided this and they decided to change it after we kind of decided on our position, we still have a couple of months before, well, actually, I take that back, it's only a month and a half.
We'd have to meet again. We'd have
Madam
to
Mayor.
agendize it.
I was just
Yes.
going to say, if you want to designate your delegate tonight and take action on the first item, I'm hearing there's some questions about the resolution, because local control, absolutely, a great thing, but there's some questions that are being raised, and we could look to have our staff do some additional analysis and maybe bring that back to the council.
That would be
if you
good.
desire
Yeah, I
that, to
think
consider
that's-
the second item for more discussion.
I think that's a great path forward.
And
Thank
if
you.
there's somebody from the league that wants to come and explain it to us, that would be good.
We can certainly put that request in, but at minimum, we can get their analysis, and then we would have someone from our community development department provide an overview.
Yeah, our league rep, was it Charles Anderson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should be able to give us more information.
Yeah, I can ask Charles. All right.
So we'll bring that back certainly at the next meeting or that first meeting in September to ensure there's enough time for you to take a position on it before it goes to vote.
Great.
So the current is no position yet.
Yeah, well, I think, and I'll look to city clerk or city attorney, but you would be taking action on the first motion.
Yes.
On designating your delegates, and then we'll come back. Will we continue the second part of it?
Yes.
Okay, we'll continue that to a future meeting, the second part of
We
it.
have a motion in a second, I think, right?
Yes, we have a motion for the delegate and the alternate, and the second part is, we'll hear it at a future date. Okay, perfect. Is that enough for you,
Did we vote?
Danielle? Thank you.
Did we vote?
We did.
We voted, yeah.
All right, great.
All right, good discussion. Good discussion. Next item, please.
Next item is items requested by council members or future agenda items.
All right, do we have any future requests? Any additional items not already on the agenda? Okay. Next item.
Next item is city manager items.
All right.
Well, good evening, Madam Mayor, Madam Vice members of the council, Ash Finney, your city manager. Do have a couple updates, but one, I just want to celebrate that Madison Avenue item earlier. You know, one of the things that the General Services Department, and actually I think across all departments, is you work hard on something and you get it done and you're moving on to the next thing. But the advocacy to even get Madison Avenue done, that started a long time ago, and it wasn't really on the docket at the time. And so through advocacy with our staff team, based on the community and the council's desire, we're able to elevate that project with the county and the good relationships we have there, got that in the docket, and it's just great to see that that's done now. Plus 128 roads being resurfaced, a big deal. And that's, when you talk about strategic planning, you talk about priorities and clear direction from your council, that's how you get stuff done. And so just appreciate that, and something to certainly celebrate. So kudos to our city engineer and our entire General Services Department and our Director, Gabe.
Yes.
Yeah, talked about National Night Out. You know, it was a lot of fun, some great photos from the event. You heard the council celebrate it, and you can see here, lots of fun was had. But the 15 different locations, you know, more than 1,200 residents that attended across all the events, and, you know, certainly our police department does a great job of showing up for the community that night and every day, and the council does too. And so great for everybody to come together and get to know their neighbors better. And I know that I had a due list coming back from some of those events, and it's a way that you can get information back out to the community too. So appreciated all the efforts of the team and the police department on that. In Citrus Nights, this is an upcoming event, and there's going to be plenty of mosquito wipes that'll be available as well. It is an evening event on August 21st, and that's right here at Van Maren Park, where we do our Stars and Stripes event. This was we had the inaugural Citrus Nights last year, and it was a blast. A lot of people had fun, and there's a great band that's going to be there, Mercy Me. There'll be food trucks, lawn games. The Chamber of Commerce is having a beer and wine garden. They had that last year, and they're going to be holding that again. And it looks like, I believe, new this year, a 360-degree photo booth experience. So that's, again, Friday night, August 21st, from 6 to 9 p.m. And I think that concludes my updates.
All right, we'll
Madam
look
Mayor,
at that.
Madam Mayor, can I go back one item? I forgot something.
Okay, sure. Which item is it?
The items requested by council members, because you just showed a picture of something, reminded me of something I wanted to do. So you
Okay.
showed a picture of the posting of the colors by our junior guys.
The Explorers, yes.
And so do you think that when they're available, they could come and do a council meeting and post colors? We used to have Boy Scouts all the time, you know, come and do that at the beginning of a council meeting, and if we could introduce some of that again, if they're available. You know, I know that they're not always, but it gives a little solemnity to our work. What do you think, guys? You like that? Have a posting of the colors?
We
Yeah.
unfortunately can't really discuss the merits of it, but whether you support
Ask it.
the idea of putting it on there for a future
Second.
agenda item,
I'll
we can
second.
have that discussion.
We just ask, see if it's available. Is that possible?
Looks like we
Yeah,
have some support.
Sounds like we have some
We have
support to
support,
talk
yeah.
about some options to bring that back, and I know it's a future discussion item, it can't be discussed, but I know we've got a very patriotic council, so
Okay, let's put it
we'll
on a
talk
future
about
agenda
that.
item.
All right,
Thanks. All
right.
wonderful. Any other thoughts while we have the
No, I said, because I did tell Sergeant Jones I would ask.
All right, and it looks like we are at our final item, which is adjournment. Thank you, everyone.